To Rambam, we begin the laws of Chagiga. Chagiga comes from the Chag, which means holiday. It means the holiday offering. So it includes, in this text, there are 6 mitzvahs, 4 positive, 2 negative. They are to appear before the divine presence. You are summoned before the divine presence. You have to appear to celebrate the 3 pilgrimage holidays, which are Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot. To rejoice on the festivals, to appear before the divine presence, not to appear before the divine presence empty-handed, right? Like when you go home, don't go empty-handed. Not to abandon the Levite by refraining from making him joyous and giving him the presence on the festivals, right? The Levites don't have a part of the land. So, and they are there in the service of the divine. So don't forget them. Take care of them. To gather the people together on the day following Sukkot, in the year following the sabbatical year, which is called Hakel, which was last year. We had a Hakel year. Interesting. And just yesterday, learning a sikh on that with my son on Hakel. Okay, let's get right into it. The Jewish people have been commanded to observe 3 positive commandments on each of the 3 pilgrimage holidays. They are to appear before the divine presence. It says, all your males shall appear. Right? You have for the 3 chapters? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So there's a mitzvah to appear before the divine presence. Where's the divine presence? In the holy temple. Bringing the festive offerings, as it states, you shall bring the festive offering to God, your Lord. And the 3rd thing, celebrate. And you shall rejoice in festivals. You got to rejoice. Okay, the Torah charges to appear before God, mandates that one should appear in the temple courtyard on the 1st day of the festival and bring with them a burnt offering, whether from a fowl or domesticated animals. One who comes to the temple courtyard on the 1st day of the festival without bringing a burnt offering has not only failed to perform a positive commandment, right, to bring the gift or to bring the offering, but has also made a negative commandment, says you shall not appear in my presence empty-handed, right? That's where mother always taught her children, when you go as a guest somewhere, don't go empty-handed. Right? Because, you're going to God, don't go empty-handed. One is not liable for lashes for the violation of prohibition because he did not perform a deed. Remember, you only get lashes, and remember, lashes is if you got warned for your misdeed, right, by 2 witnesses, and you were fully aware and nonetheless, did something. But here, there's nothing you did. It's something you didn't do, right? It's a sin of omission, not a sin of commission, right? So you only get lashes, not for a sin. You don't get lashes, rather, for a sin of omission. The Torah's charge to bring the festive offering mandates that one offer a peace offering on the 1st day of the festival when one comes to appear before the divine presence. So you bring a peace offering. It is a known matter that the peace offerings are brought only from domesticated animals. Women are not obligated in these 2 mitzvahs of appearing before the divine presence and bringing a festive sacrifice. The Torah's charge to celebrate on festival mandates that one offer a peace offering in addition to the festive peace offering. So peace offering that is separate from the holiday peace offering, right? These are called festive celebratory peace offerings. You shall rejoice before God your Lord. Women are obligated in this mitzvah. This they're obligated. It's interesting. Seemingly. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can see something like that. Hold on, there's no note there, huh? Yeah, no, let's see. All righty. To see why that is. So it seems like it's based on the verse, but I'm not saying certain how they learn out of the verse. Okay, that's number two. According to scriptural law, there are no fixed measures with regard to the sacrifices brought when appearing before God or the festive offerings. It says each person according to what he gives, right? So in other words, you don't have to give a certain amount biblically. According to rabbinic law, however, limits were established. One should not bring a burnt offering to mark one's appearance worth less than a silver mea, nor should one bring a festive offering, peace offering, worth less than 2 silver mea. It is a mitzvah to bring these sacrifices proportionate to one's wealth, is implied by the phrase according to what one gives. Okay. In other words, according to what your capability is. Number 3, our sages did not establish a minimum measure for the celebratory festive offerings. When a person will ascend to Jerusalem for the festival, if he is in possession of sacrifices required when presenting oneself, he should bring them, or he should bring sufficient silver to purchase a sacrificial animal, right? Because it was difficult to travel with it. So you brought the money and then you purchased there. If he does not possess silver, he should not bring articles of value equivalent to silver. Right? No bartering over here. Bring money or bring the animal, but not barter. Even if he is in possession of articles worth several gold pieces, it is forbidden for him to ascend to Jerusalem empty-handed without silver or sacrificial animal. Why is it forbidden to ascend while bringing articles worth money? Perhaps he will not be able to sell them, or perhaps he will find impurities in the money he receives. Right. So in other words, he's complicating the issue over here. He's going to bring, I don't know, he's going to bring a valuable necklace, but maybe no one wants to buy the necklace. Money is money, right? But no one wants the necklace, so he's going to trade in the necklace. So, and then he might get the necklace, but maybe he's going to get money, and that money is going to be impure money. Huh? Well,
change the law, you can change it more easily for money.
right. So I'm not certain what it means here by the impure, that it makes him, I don't know if it makes him impure then, if that's what it means. What?
It says it, but also would not be able to sell them, or perhaps you would find impurities in the money.
Right. So that's what I just said. I'm not certain if the impurities of the money makes him impure, makes that, I'm not clear. No, that's not what it said. It said impure. That's not what it said here. It said impure. The money was impure. He didn't say another reason. Didn't say that. The money itself is, yeah. Which may in turn make him impure. That's it might be. Okay. I have to look that up, and I don't have it here. Okay, next. One who did not offer the burnt offering, making his appearance, marking his appearance rather, and his festive peace offering, right? So the burnt offering, the festive peace offering on the first day of the festival should offer them in the remaining days of the festival. As implied, For 7 days you shall celebrate unto God your Lord. This teaches us that these days are fit for offering festive sacrifices. They are the compensation of the first day. So the preferably bring on the first day, but if you can't bring it on the first day for whatever reason, you have the rest of the festival to do it. Okay. I would imagine that not everybody could do it on the first day, just it would be too many people. You know, that would be a thought of mine, but okay, number 5, it is a mitzvah to be early and to offer these sacrifices on the first day. If either inadvertently or intentionally one did not offer them on the first day, they should be offered on the second day. Whoever does delays in deserving of reproach concerning such a person is applied the words of censure. I will gather in and break those who delay the festive prayers and offerings. So do it as soon as possible. First day preferably, second day if not. Yeah, there is rebuke to an individual who doesn't. Huh?
That's a great, break those who.
I guess the idea of rebuke. That's how I'm taking it. Yeah. Yeah, good question. Okay, number 6, if the festival passed without one bringing these festive offerings, he is not obligated to bring them afterwards. Concerning such a situation, the like is applied in the verse, a wrong that cannot be righted. Right? As the opportunity came and you missed the opportunity. It's called a missed opportunity, right? Number 7, when one did not bring the festive sacrifices on the first day of Sukkot's holiday, he may bring them throughout the entire festival and on the final holiday, which is on the 8th day. For even the 8th day can serve as a compensation for the first. And now with that, you can understand why it's called the 8th day, Shmini Atzeret, Simchas Torah, right? Even though it's a holiday unto its own, but yet it's also a continuation of the previous. So one who did not bring the festive offerings on the holiday of Shavuos may bring them for 7 days. He may compensate during the 6 days that following the festival of Shavuos. This concept of the festival of Shavuos is similar to the festival of Pesach with regard to compensation, was communicated through the oral tradition. In other words, this fact that you can bring the offerings after is not a verse in the Torah. That's what he's saying, right? It's not a verse in the Torah that it tells us this, but it's communicated to us in the oral tradition. Number 8, the burnt offerings brought when appearing before God and the festive peace offerings do not supersede either Shabbos prohibitions or the restrictions against ritual impurity. Why? Because there is no fixed time when they are required to be brought for communal offerings. To be brought like communal offerings. For if one does not bring his festive offerings on one day, he may bring them on the next, as we explained, right? So the only thing that supersedes Shabbos is something that is set in stone. The daily offering is set in stone. Every morning you got to do it. Every afternoon you have to do it. It says so. Even on Yom Kippur you do it. So therefore, when Shabbos comes, it supersedes Shabbos. But these offerings, since it's preferable to bring it on the first day, but it doesn't need to be on the first day, therefore it doesn't supersede Shabbos. They do, however, supersede the prohibitions of holidays. Although sacrifices which one has vowed or pledged to bring are not offered on holidays, the burnt offerings brought when appearing before God, the festive peace offerings and celebratory peace offerings are offered. The rationale is these are not vows or pledges, but rather obligations. So we have 3 things over here. We have things that are set in stone, the offering, that you supersedes Shabbos, and you can offer it on Shabbos. At the other end, we have personal things that I have no obligation to bring, but I made a vow. I made a vow that I'm going to bring a peace offering, right? Well, God was good to me, right? God was good to me, and I'm bringing a peace offering. I took a vow. That doesn't supersede Shabbos or the holiday. But then you have in between, you have the burnt offering. That's something that you have to bring when you appear before God. You have to bring a festive peace offering. And then you have a celebratory peace offering. Shalmei Simcha, it's called. So Shalmei Chagiga, Shalmei Simcha. Those are all obligations. They're not a vow. However, they're not obligations that have a carved time in stone when to bring them. Therefore, they do not supersede Shabbos, only the holiday.
They supersede the holiday.
Meaning on Yom Tov itself. Like this year, Sukkot is going to be Thursday, Friday. So you could bring those three offerings on Yom Tov, but you couldn't bring it on Shabbos, right? But if you were coming to let's say you took a vow and now you're going to bring a fourth offering. You took a vow that you're going to bring another peace offering, right? For whatever reason, right? God was good to you, and you want to bring something to express your to express your good, the goodness that you've received, to acknowledge God's goodness, right? That would not supersede Yom Tov. You'd have to wait till Chol Hamoed to bring it. When one brings the burnt offerings brought when appearing before God, the festive offerings and the celebratory offerings on the festival, he should lean on them with all of his power, as he does when bringing offerings on other days, even though leaning on the animals is not an indispensable element of their sacrifice. So he explained in Hilchos Ma'aseh Karbonos that the sages did not institute a decree forbidding this as a shvuos. So you lean on it, even though it's not indispensable if you didn't. Number 10, when a person sets a burnt offering, sets aside a burnt offering brought when appearing before God and dies, his heirs are obligated to offer it. So he set it aside, this burnt offering. It's for the festival, but he passed away, and his heirs now are up in Jerusalem, and therefore they receive this in the heirloom. They're obligated to offer it. Right. It's not a sin offering, because a sin offering is specific to the person's sin. So the heir couldn't bring a sin offering because he didn't do the sin. But a burnt offering means just a gift to God, right? Because it's completely burnt on the altar, right? And so that gift, you can still give the gift. The heirs have to give it. It's permitted to offer sacrifices when one has vowed or pledged during the intermediate days of the holiday. We mentioned that, right? As it states, and you will offer these to God on your festivals, aside from your vowed and pledged offerings. It can be understood from this that these offerings are brought during the festival, because it's aside, but it's not. And it's on the aside, but during the festival, not, and that's the intermediate days. That verse continues for your burnt offerings, your meal offerings, and your peace offerings. For the burnt offerings includes a burnt offering brought by a person afflicted by tsaras, or a woman after childbirth. Your meal offerings include a meal offering brought by a sinner, and a meal offering brought by a woman whose husband accused her of adultery. Your peace offerings includes peace offering brought by an Nazarite. All of these are offered in the intermediate days of the festival, but not offered on the sacred days. Halacha number 11, a person who ascended to Jerusalem for the pilgrimage festival had many members of his household to partake of the offerings, but limited means. He should bring many festive peace offerings and a few burnt offerings brought when appearing before God. If he has few members of his household to partake of the offerings, but ample means, he should bring many burnt offerings brought when appearing before God and a few festive peace offerings, right? Because the burnt offerings, you don't eat anything from. The peace offerings, you do eat from it. So don't bring as many of those. One should not bring less than a ma'ah for a burnt offering and 2 silver ma'ah for a peace offering. If it was blessed with amply with both. Concerning this, our sages applied the verse according to the blessing of God your Lord, which he granted you. All right. Beautiful. All right, folks.